Hi everybody, my name is Carla and I'm a yoga instructor here at Hot Yoga Naperville. In the next couple minutes I'm going to be demonstrating a couple of hip openers for you, and it's really important to open up the hips just because it gives us freedom to have a fuller range of motion throughout the body when we have open hips, and B, in yoga tradition, it is said to be that the pelvis actually acts as a storage ground. It carries a lot of pent-up emotions and negative feelings. So if we have open hips, we can let go of all of that bad energy and really just be free of any tension. So we'll start off coming onto all fours here, and you want to check your alignment, so make sure that you have your hands right below the shoulders, and then the knees should be right below the hips. So we'll start off here by lifting the right leg and landing the right foot right in between the two hands here. So you can raise the chest up, spine is straight, and then just let the hands rest onto the knee here. So we're going to come into dragon. There's a lot of names for it. The Taoist class that I teach, we call this walking monkey. So here you're just going to extend the left leg, and the easiest way, I guess, would be to tuck the toes down to the floor and then just raise up a little bit to push that left foot further away from you, and then drop the left knee, uncurl the toes, and automatically here you'll feel that extension on the right hip joint. So what you're doing here is you're just relaxing. The pelvis fall down to the floor. It's breathing here. Now the weight should be on the right heel, and then you should check that doesn't go past the right toe. It should be just right above the right toe. And again, remember to keep pushing the pelvis forward to really engage the hips. Now if you want to take it down, you can even melt the chin onto the right thigh, and that'll just kind of relax the upper body more. Rest your head, let it hang heavy. Every exhale, you're just letting something go. You're becoming heavier. Okay, so we're going to take it now into pigeon here, also called forward monkey in the Taoist class. Make sure that you have maybe a bolster right next to you. And we're going to start twisting the right femur by dropping this right knee down to the floor. So very carefully, you can have the left hand just resting onto the floor, and then you can take the right hand, place it on the right knee, and start pushing that right knee away from you. So you're going to start feeling the right hip twist. And do it slowly, with or without a bolster. I always like to have a bolster just in case. Wherever you're comfortable, just find stillness here. And again, letting the hips drop down to the floor. Not letting the weight just fall onto the right side. Try to keep weight distributed evenly on both the hips. And if you feel comfortable, you can come down lower by dropping down to the elbows. Just being very aware of your breath. Okay, so that's on one side. Then obviously you can just take it to the left side by doing the exact same thing. So I'll go over it with you just a little bit more quickly. Again, onto all fours, check your alignment, lift the left leg, place it in between the two hands. Raise up the hands onto the knee. Tuck the right toes down to the floor. Lift up maybe just like a foot. And then start pushing that right heel away from you. Drop the right knee. Uncurl the toes. And let the extension happen onto the right hip this time. So make sure that the pelvis here is tucking forward, not letting the butt stick out. Pushing it forward. Just find calmness, stillness. And again, just if you want, come down, rest your chest. When you feel comfortable again, start twisting the right femur by pushing the left knee away, dropping the knee all the way down to the floor. And you might even have to kind of crank the left foot closer to your right side, just so that it feels more comfortable. The goal here is really to have a parallel line onto the shin bone. You can take an inhale and really lengthen through the spine. Exhale, just surrender to the pose. Inhale as you rise up. Curl the right toes down to the floor so that it gives you space to bring that left foot back. And that's the first pose, dragon into pigeon. A second pose for a hip opener would be shoelace. So again, you're on the floor, and simply you can start with just your legs extended out in front of you. All right, we'll lift the right leg and just have it landed onto the left. You want to create, first you want to just start off with a 90-degree angle here. So you want the knee to knee touching, and see how that feels. You want to take it a little bit more intense. Try to get that right foot closer to the left glute. So you're halfway there, and if you feel like you can go even further, you'll drag the left foot and crank it up so that the left foot comes near the right glute. So again, check and see if maybe you can get the knee to touch as much as possible. You can use your hands to maneuver the knees. You want the toes pointing to the side walls. And this is shoelace here. So you'll feel it very intensely throughout your glutes here and the hips. This would be an external rotation of the hips here. And you can take it as far as you want. Again, you can come down, hands out in front of you, maybe pushing the hips back, dropping the head, and breathing. Always with an inhale, you raise up. With an exhale, you release. Release the right leg, release the left, and relax. It's the same concept with the other side, taking the left leg and place it on top of the right. You can use your hands to move your feet close to the hips. Same thing, use your hand to move that right foot close to the hip. And you'll notice that you're tighter on one side than the other, and that's completely normal. Extend the hands and explore. See how far you can come into it. Okay. Inhale, raise up. Extend your legs. Relax. All right, one final pose that I'll introduce you for hip openers. This one's called forward lotus. Now, if you can come into lotus, go ahead and get into lotus, which would be this position here. You want the outer edges of the feet to be laying on the hip creases. All right, you're gonna want to bolster here just in case, or even like a pillow, anything you have on hand, and place it the long way out in front of you. You're gonna come onto your knees here, and eventually we're gonna come down, but you wanna do it very mindfully. So instead of just thumping the chest onto the bolster, you wanna engage the pelvis first. So you're pushing the pelvis forward through, and then very slowly, you're letting the chest rest onto the bolster. You're completely melting here. And you can extend the arms out straight in front of you, letting either the side of your cheek rest or maybe the forehead, and you're just releasing. You're so relaxed here, you can fall asleep. So you should really feel it on both hip flexors at the same time here. Now, if you can't get into lotus, that's no problem. I can show you another way to get into it. So you would start off with coming onto your knees, and you would simply just have the big toes and the heels touch together. So you start off here, you bring the hands down to the floor, keeping the big toes and heels touching together. Maybe you'll want to widen the knees a little here. And again, same thing, pushing the pelvis first down to the floor, and then letting the chest release. Standing straight, and you can hold these poses for as long as you want. Ideally, you want to hold them for at least 5 minutes to really target the tendons and the joints. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you took away something from this demonstration. It's a pleasure to introduce you these postures, and thanks for watching. Namaste.